Chambers, for a long time, we are actually 96 years old, will be celebrating our centenary in the year 2016-17. With the vast experience which we have, both in for empowering industry, commerce and trade, we have taken a conscious view that at some point of time we have to service both the areas of Telangana as well as Andhra Pradesh. We discussed in detail in our meetings, and we have in principle going to service both the states to the best of our ability and in the best interest of the industry, commerce and trade. With this view, for the last one and a half month, we have asked our people and with inputs from all our members, managing committee members and other experts, we prepared a vision, basic vision document for both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. This is basically not an exhaustive document. This is basically a ground plan on which further building has to be done. So in that direction, once this base plan has been given, we are also looking at in the next 1-2 months to give sector-wise and also cluster-wise and probably region-wise development plans also to both the governments, which will be in place in the next month. What we have concentrated in the documents is that growth always was centered in and around Hyderabad, which was for some reason good, and for some reason it was detrimental to each one of us. So we thought that the vision which we are going to give and the plan which we are going to do for both the states, the development should be balanced region-wise. And for that we have identified 2 districts as one cluster sort of thing, keeping in mind the local availability of raw materials, local availability of road connectivity, local availability of train connectivity, freight corridors, all take this into consideration, and the local advantages which have inherently that local area has, and given a vision plan, two districts at a time for both Seemandhra as well as Telangana. We have also suggested that we should have sub cities which should be on par with the national, with the state capital. Now here, if you see in Telangana, after Hyderabad, there is nothing. You probably Warangal, Nizamabad and Karimnagar might match nearest, but I don't think they will anywhere near to the. So we also said that tier 1 cities other than the capital all should be developed, and in these tier 1 cities, as far as possible, we should also have regional airports. Now somebody was asking me, why did you suggest regional airports? Do you think we suggested initially for Telangana at Nizamabad and Warangal? Now what we are looking is not for passenger traffic between Nizamabad and Hyderabad, or from Hyderabad to Nizamabad, or from Hyderabad to Warangal, or Warangal to Hyderabad. What we are looking is traffic from Warangal to other places, traffic from Nizamabad to other places, both passenger traffic as well as freight traffic. Now, if the goods which are produced at Nizamabad or something would like directly to go from there to other places, it would develop the local industry, it will develop local infrastructure because of the flights and airports and other things. So that sort of things we have given. And even in Andhra, we have already got 3 airports now which are operational: Vijayawada, Rajahmundry, Vizag, and to an extent Tirupati. Tirupati basically is purely for tourist purposes. Nobody uses it as a. But these 3 places are being used by industry, trade, and commerce. These, one of them obviously sometime has to become an international airport if the state of Andhra Pradesh has to. So we said that keeping existing infrastructure into consideration, airports have to be developed. And we also said that the ports which are available in the state of Seemandhra have to be developed to the best interests of the hinterlands in these places. Similarly, in Telangana, there are a lot of places. Mehboob Nagar. Mehboob Nagar, there's a lot of agricultural product. Unfortunately, or depending on from which angle you are seeing, most of the product goes out in raw form. Like for an example, mangoes. Mangoes are going outside. Now, once they go there, the local people there are doing processing further for this agro processing and adding value to that. Now, we suggested that some parts of Mehboob Nagar where 100% export cannot be done. There should also be an agro-processing zones there so that the local industry develops. And going a step further, in some of the mineral-rich districts like Khammam and other places, what is happening is that raw material is going in raw material form without any value addition. We said that locally, if the industries are developed, this value addition will take place. So this sort of analysis we have done and given a basic plan. We have not touched anything political, nor we have touched anything in one district in favor of another. We have taken the local conditions down. Now, East and West Godavari have got gas thing. So, based on gas, what industries can come up, we have suggested that. At the same time, we also taken care to suggest that the local environment, the local talent and all should not be... See, now historically what has happened in the last 4-5 years, even if you see, forget the state part of it, if you see the national scenario, in the last 3 years, if you see our national budget, the share of manufacturing has come down and the share of services sector has gone up in our budget, in the revenues. So roughly manufacturing, which used to contribute at one time, both the excise and customs used to contribute about 45, 50, 55%. Unfortunately, it has come down to almost level of 20-21%, and services have gone up to 55 to 60% of the total revenue collections. Now in this scenario, if everybody wants to concentrate on services, it might be okay in short term for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But unless there is a manufacturing base, now everything is computerized. So what you do online, you want to book your car, you book online. You want to do this, do online. If you want to, no, I can do online, but where is the facility there? There should be cars where you have to book online. They should be manufactured. So we are saying that manufacturing should be the base on which anything should, one. And two, service sector, we are not against of it, but what happens in the service sector is you require at least a basic level of skill. Whereas in manufacturing sector, you can have unskilled, semi-skilled and skilled. So the potential for employment also will be more. And the third important factor is most of the service sector are plug and play. They don't have any loyalty, or they don't. If I don't like here tomorrow, I'll close the building, take my computers, walk out. Or if I'm a service, like probably except for hospitality industries like hotels and other things, it's easy for them, service sector, to move about. Yes. So we are saying that as an industry, manufacturing should be the base for anything. Now, if the state doesn't have any raw material, doesn't have any minerals, if the state doesn't have any basic thing, then obviously I have to survive on service sector or tourism. State has got abundant natural resources. State has got abundant raw materials. If you are not able to take advantage of this and develop the manufacturing sector, then the government should rethink about its priorities. See, in the sectors, in the plans which we are given, we have categorically asked people not to move out of the agriculture sector, because that is the core. Agriculture has to be there. Now, if tomorrow morning the whole of East and West Godavari, I said that PCPI corridor should come, all industries should come. Industries will come at what cost? The manufacturing bowl, rice manufacturing bowl, you'll get at what cost you are doing that? So basically, where agriculture is the core and where agriculture is giving a lot of 3 crops, sometimes 3.5 crops, if you take cropping pad, intermediate crops also into consideration, then you should not deprive, those lands should not be converted to manufacturing or anything. They should continue as agriculture, and agriculture has got huge potential because population is always growing. So in this section, what our apprehension is that the farmer should get a very remunerative price, and state governments or central government should ensure that there is minimal middleman interference. So 1 rupee is the manufacturing cost, is the production cost of a potato kg. That fellow gets only 2 rupees, whereas the same potato, when you come to city, is sold at 20 rupees, 25 rupees. Who is making this money? That middleman, if you agriculture will always be a remunerative sector. That's what the government should aim at. So our main motto is empowering industry, commerce and trade. Suppose we are, we have taken a conscious decision that because of our experience being in the field for almost 96 years, we are well equipped. We are well equipped in terms of knowledge bank, we are well equipped in terms of talent, we are well equipped in terms of infrastructure to support the needs and wants of all the industries, trade and commerce in both the places. One. Two, we have an inherent advantage, at least initially, that for the next 7 to 8 years, the capital is going to continue in minimum. So all the government offices will be situated here. To a large extent, we can do what we are doing now. Only we are to do with two governments. Third, each government will have its own economic priorities and economic priorities in different regions. So there will be no conflict whatsoever. So if somebody has got some problem with some circular or some government problem at some place, it will be localized. I don't have to worry what will happen if I take up in Telangana, or if I will take up Telangana problem, what Andhra people, because they are two different things. And four, we have got the example of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi Chamber of Commerce, PhD Chambers of Commerce, which for the last so many years has been successfully representing Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, and has got offices in 6 states. So we hope and we are confident that we'll emulate that particular model and serve the industry, trade and commerce in both states successfully in the best interest of all involved.